Good afternoon and welcome to another edition of Nutmeg Sports here on the HN Network. I'm Kevin Coleman and I'm joined with Joe Mixie. Joe, how's it going?
Going good. A lot of sports this week to talk about. Good to have the Connecticut ties. And
a lot of Connecticut ties. We have a lot of local sports going on. Of course, nationally, a lot of sports going on as well. We have an action-packed show, Joe. We're going to get into it right away. We have Paul Carcaterra joining us. We also have Mike Buswell and the Trumbull 14 under Babe Ruth All-Star team joining us. They're making a great run in their tournament right now after a big 4-0 win in last night's game against Newtown. They're going to be live in studio. But right now, we're going to kick things off right away with my man, Paul Carcaterra, ESPN Lacrosse analyst. Paul, thanks for taking the time to join us. How are you?
Great to be with you guys.
Now, let's just start things right off right away. You're living in Fairfield County now. You get some exposure to lacrosse around here. Just your initial thoughts on how great the talent is around here for lacrosse.
Well, I think when you think of traditional hotbeds in high school lacrosse, the tri-state area is certainly one that can rival any, along with the Philadelphia region and then the Baltimore-Washington area as well. For Connecticut specifically, I think it starts and finishes in terms of a top-heavy program in Darien, who's doing things nationally. That's certainly being recognized as one of the top teams in all of the United States at the high school level. I think the game is growing, obviously, leaps and bounds. Fastest growing team sport in the country. Best players in terms of the way they acclimate and adjust to college lacrosse are kind of scattered all over the place. I think you could find top talent in states like Texas, Florida, California, the state of Washington, even Oregon, for example, has tremendous talent. But when it comes to actual high school teams, I think the East Coast still kind of reigns supreme, and places like Darien, just because of the tradition and the coaching that they have. So I don't think necessarily Fairfield County is churning out great college lacrosse players more than some of the other regions, or even, you can argue that the college lacrosse representation is just totally coast to coast now in terms of top level talented players. But when you look at it from a team aspect, the East Coast I still think is the standard in regards to churning out top teams year in and year out, and Darien is at the forefront of that. You look at what Jeff Braymeyer has done there, the youth program. It's a top to bottom type of initiative. Darien doesn't have the great high school team without having the great youth, and their youth program is off the charts along with Greenwich. But a place like Darien is a little different than Greenwich because I think Darien holds a lot of the local in-town talent will funnel to the high school, where Greenwich, it's kind of scattered. A lot of those kids go off to private schools. We'll go to Brunswick. We'll go to different schools throughout the Northeast. I think Darien's pipeline is really more of like a town lacrosse program. But it's just amazing what they've done, especially this year. Where it was a year they won a state title, obviously, in 2016. What they did in 2017 and just blowtorching everyone, it was kind of eye-opening in terms of what they did to the talented teams in this region. So Fairfield County, long-lasting programs like Wilton, New Canaan, those were kind of the teams in the 80s and in the early 90s, and then Darien took over that top dog label. I would say late 90s and then into the 2000s. But I think the talent here is as good as it's ever been. The only thing that I would probably mention is that the rest of the country is catching up.
And I agree with you. I think a lot of the rest of the country is catching up. You look at some parts of the state, some parts of the country, but you mentioned Darien, and we've been able to cover Darien, especially this season. We got to do a bunch of their games. Just eye-opening what they did to some of these teams. Just if there's a certain word to describe this Darien team and what sticks out to you the most about their game, what is it?
I would say balance and depth. I'm not completely blown away by like one or two specific kids. I mean, the Lindley kid was really good, and I remember last year watching the Minikis kid. I thought they were like top level type players, but I just think everyone on that team is so functional in terms of just their overall skill. There's no weakness. When they roll out the 10 starters, every kid is a college lacrosse player. The second line midfield is probably, as good as a second line midfield as you're going to see in the country. It's just a talented, deep team. Superstars, yeah, they're superstars for this region, but it's a testament to the program and how well they play together as a team, because it's not like Darien is producing, Tewaton finalists, which is the player of the year in college lacrosse every year. They're not even producing that many college All-Americans, proportionally speaking to the success they have at the high school level, if that makes any sense. But that's actually credit to the program, that the pieces of the puzzle are greater than one player. I think Jeff Braymeyer is an unbelievable coach. This is a great story, too, because the guy didn't even play lacrosse growing up. He was a baseball player, and then he becomes a lacrosse coach. He's been there now for a few decades, and he's absolutely crushing it. So it's a testament to him. I don't want any listeners thinking like I'm belittling the type of players. They're all great players, but the pieces to the puzzle, when you add them up, are a lot bigger than any player.
Coach Joe Mixie here. One of your duties at ESPN was you got the opportunity to cover the Under Armour All-American Lacrosse game in Maryland on July 1st. You see a lot of players, and I know you've talked about a little bit of the standing of Connecticut and kind of that high school lacrosse atmosphere. 8 players from Connecticut. That was one of the highest showings from any state in that All-American game, including a pair from New Canaan and Drew Morris and Ryan O'Connell, and a pair from Darien and Ryan Cornell and Arden Cohen. Talk about what you saw a little bit from those Connecticut players specifically, as well as a couple from Brunswick as well. And I know you said that there's kind of a sprinkling of players from Connecticut and from Texas and from coast to coast, but do you see anything differently in the style of play that some of these Connecticut guys, specifically the public school ones that we cover here on the HAI Network, have?
I don't think. I think it's case by case, player by player. The 2 kids from Connecticut, when I covered that game, that stood out to me. One is the defenseman Arden Cohen. He only played at Darien for a year. It's not like he was this homegrown product. He actually grew up in New York City, and I believe he just spent his senior year. So he was one of the top defensive prospects in the country leading into his senior year, and had an incredible last hurrah from a high school lacrosse standpoint. He's a defenseman that technically is as good as you'll see, with his angles, his patience, his timely checks. Not often does a freshman go into Notre Dame and play in that defensive system, because it's a program that prides itself on defense as freshmen, and I think he'll go in and start as a freshman. I also think Arden Cohen is the type of kid that will potentially become like a first-team All-American Defenseman of the Year type player, just because he's that rock solid. Obviously, Darien, that's where he played his senior year. He didn't play, throughout his childhood or his earlier high school stages in the program, but certainly his senior year, he made a tremendous impact on that program. And I look at him as ready of a defenseman as you'll see from high school to college, because it's a really tough position to adjust to because of the speed of the game and how much more athletic the offensive players. The other guy that kind of grabbed my attention was the O'Connell kid from New Canaan. I think North Carolina is getting a really good offensive, talented kid in him. He shoots the ball exceptionally well on the run, which is a next level type skill for a midfielder. I'm just really impressed with his shooting stroke. I think it's college ready. Carolina loses some guys offensively at the midfield. There'll be some spots for some of these kids to go after, and I think O'Connell will be in the mix. So those are the 2 Connecticut kids that stood out.
All right, we just showed a graphic of you playing at Syracuse, but we also showed a graphic of a segment that I really enjoy watching of yours, and you and I have gotten a chance to talk about. It's your relaxing segment, and you even got to do with Paul Rabel. Just talk about that segment that you got to do. I really enjoyed the one you did with Matt Rambo and Heathcott right after. I think it was before the championship game. It was two Maryland guys, and just a great segment. Quickly talk about how that came about, and what made you start that segment.
Yeah, I just think after covering the sport for a while now, my first year covering college lacrosse was 2004. calling the games has always been, fascinating and something that I thoroughly enjoyed doing. But I felt like the sport of lacrosse just needed to humanize the players and the coaches a little bit more. So I just took the initiative and in a relaxed atmosphere, a lot of like drive along type segments with some of the best players in college lacrosse, some coaches. Whether it was North Carolina's Joe Bresci, who won the national title a year before, Scott Marr from Albany with his star player. I put both of them in the car together. Did some stuff with Pat Spencer down at Loyola, was a Tewaaraton finalist. Ben Reeves at Yale was a Tewaaraton finalist. Each kid, each player, each coach, kind of a different story. Ben Reeves from Yale, the kid's a genius. He's got like a 3.9 in cellular, molecular, and developmental biology, which is way over my pay grade, so we visited some of his labs. Pat Spencer from Loyola was a fantastic high school basketball player, so shot around in the gym with him. Heacock and Rambo were just laid-back college dudes who like to have fun and didn't take themselves too seriously, so driving around campus and going to their house where they live, which was something out of Animal House, that kind of just embodied who they were. So I think each specific player had a story of his own, and I just tried to capture that and humanize them and give the lacrosse world a little bit of a backstage access to who these kids and coaches are.
Well, listen, I think it's so cool that you get to do that, and I really enjoy watching each and every week your segments. I'm looking forward to even seeing you during the college football season this fall. Paul, thank you again for taking the time for coming on. You're always welcome on Nutmeg Sports.
Thanks, guys. Anytime, man. Be well. Enjoy the rest of the summer.
All right, thank you. You as well. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Mike Buswell and his 14-under Babe Ruth All-Star team. Don't go anywhere. That's coming up next on Nutmeg Sports.
Celebrate summer with fresh, made-to-order picnic boxes from Walter Stewart's Market. We have delicious summery selections from buttermilk fried chicken to grilled lemon chicken kebab, grilled shrimp Caesar salad wraps, or lobster salad rolls. Our easy-to-carry picnic boxes come with your choice of a meal, as well as a dessert, beverage, and utensils. Order online for simple pickup options. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and online at stewartsmarket.com.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside.
Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes. The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
School's out, the weather is hot, and the fish are biting. Whether you're heading to the beach or out on a boat, stop in at the dock shop before you go to fill your beach bag or tackle box with everything you'll need for fun in the sun. A new beach cover-up, some sunscreen, or just some bait, the dock shop has you covered from either location. 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. And yes, you heard that right. Bait is now available in Darien and Westport. The dock shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. DocShop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now at the Summer Clearance Event. Going on now through July 31st.
I'm Tracy Masella, a licensed clinical social worker at Silver Hill Hospital in New Canaan. Join me each month as we talk with experts on the front lines of the treatment of mental health and addiction. Straight Talk with Tracy, a Silver Hill Hospital production, airs at 12 p.m. on the second Thursday of each month here on the HAN network.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN network. Joe Mixie, Kevin Coleman. We are now joined by the head coach of the Trumbull 14-under Babe Ruth baseball team. We have Mike Buswell. Mike, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Of course. Well, listen, let's just start things off right away. You guys won last night, big win. Talk about that win last night, you guys, against Newtown.
Yeah, so we're participating in the state tournament to get us ready for the regional. So we started the tournament off by beating Pawcatuck in the first game. Then we played Waterford in our second game, lost a heartbreaker, tough game 3-2. Which put us in the loser's bracket. So now the last 2 nights we've been battling our way out of the loser's bracket. 2 nights ago we defeated Stratford, and then last night was Newtown.
Now, go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say, talk about some of the competition that you've had, because this Babe Ruth tournament brings sometimes, players that you might not see in your, daily coaching routines. You coach in the summer, you bring out guys from all over the state. How do you prepare for just seeing different styles of play all come together in a tournament that brings teams from all over Connecticut?
Well, obviously, when we go to a tournament like this, we try to see as many teams as possible, either before us or after us, to give us a feel for what the other competition looks like. But we talk to the kids a lot about playing our game and, doing what we do best, worrying about what we can do and what we can control, and ultimately playing our game. But, it is good getting out in the state tournament. We played Pawcatuck, which we normally, don't run up against. And, even last night, we played Newtown, who beat New Milford in the district tournament to get to the state tournament. So Newtown was a team that we hadn't seen last year in the state, but they came out of the district this year, and they were a good team, and they gave us all we could handle.
Now, Ryan Teixeira, one of the pitchers who was even here with us today, as a part of a 2-hitter last night during that pitching performance. Talk about that game last night and what you saw from your 2 pitchers last night.
Sure. So, obviously getting ready for the regional, we want to get all of our guys ready, get them acclimated, get them on the mound, get them in a competitive environment. We started the game with Sam West. Sam had moved here over last summer after our season concluded from California. He had a little bit of arm trouble the last couple weeks, so we were really kind of keeping an eye on him, but we wanted to see if he can give it a go and, see how he felt back out on the mound before we got into the regional play. So Sam West started last night, threw a great game, got into the 6th inning, threw 70 pitches. We didn't want him to throw too much, and Ryan hadn't pitched yet in the tournament, and we knew he was sitting there at first base ready to go. So Sam got us into the 6th inning. A guy got on base, I think, by an error, and I thought it was just a good time to bring Ryan in and get his foot, on the rubber.
So you guys now await the winner of the winners bracket. Stanford and Waterford both undefeated, and you've already seen Waterford. You've seen Stanford on the air as well, since they're in your general area?
Yeah, we played Stanford in non-all-star games, like exhibition games to prepare us. So we actually played Stanford a couple times.
All right, so in seeing both of them, you obviously know that you can make some adjustments to try to get what they're going to throw at you. What are you expecting from the matchup tonight, and what are you expecting, what kind of adjustments can you make for tomorrow?
Well, I think that game tonight, obviously who wins that game tonight is going to be in a nice position sitting in the state final on Saturday. So both Stanford and Waterford, I believe, have already thrown their number 1s. So I think it's going to come down to maybe a number 2 versus a number 2. And even in a game like this, you're not even sure if both teams, if they're going to get complete game efforts out of their pitchers. So what I'm going to look for tonight is the 2 starting pitchers, and if they get into the bullpen, who's coming in the bullpen, because ultimately who loses is going to play us tomorrow night. So, we played 4 days in a row, but it was nice getting a nice off day today, to rest and get ready for tomorrow.
What's some of the biggest things that you preach to your kids right now as you guys get ready during this tournament? Some of the things that you want to talk about the most, it's not just, the hitting and pitching is so important, but what are the little things you try and tell these guys each and every game? Well,
we preach team, and it's all whatever you're asked to do. And, one day it might be trying to come up with a big hit. The next at-bat might be laying a bunt down. And we've gotten contributions from every player on the team in almost every different way. So, some games, we go small ball a lot, and that's what we did actually last night. We were up 1-0 in the 5th inning, and, we got a leadoff guy on, and we bunt him over, and that ends up scoring. So the kids understand the tempo of the game, the flow of the game, and what you're asked to do could be different, day in and day out. So it's kind of just buying in what we need to do, for the ultimate team goal.
Now, you yourself have a lot of experience playing at this level. You were able to win state championships 94, 95, 96, 98, Class Double-L championship in 98. When you take a look at these players now, do you kind of envision what you did back in the 90s at the Babe Ruth level and at the high school level, and what can you take away and kind of administer to them in terms of learning experiences?
Well, youth sports, it's such a great it's such a great thing for kids and for all ages, growing up various sports to get involved in. It shows you so much. So from, with my personal background, being very passionate about Trumbull, it's special to me to see the kids growing up on the same roads that I grew up, that attend the same schools, and ultimately feed into, Trumbull High where I went. We have a tremendous Babe Ruth board. We've had guys on our Babe Ruth board who've been on for 25 years. So for me personally, it's great seeing guys that maybe coached me or mentored me, and now I'm working alongside them on the Babe Ruth board and putting something together like a regional. So for me personally, it's just very special being able to coach Trumbull. And I tell these guys all the time, that's my main focus is no knock to any other town, but my concern and my focus is always Trumbull, and I'm fortunate and happy to be coaching them.
And you mentioned you're a Trumbull man yourself. You graduated from Trumbull High School in 2000. You got to play baseball and basketball throughout your career and many other sports as well. At that time, did you picture yourself, managing, a Trumbull, 14 and under Babe Ruth team like this? Did you picture yourself, yes, I'm gonna be a baseball coach when I get older. I want to, give my experiences to younger athletes.
Well, it's funny how I got into it. When I was done playing in college, I got back in the Babe Ruth program as an umpire and got on the board, and the talent level had really fallen off. And we're losing kids to AAU and out-of-town teams, so I took the All-Star team, and it was almost a challenge for me to try to be competitive with what we had and constantly try to bring the best players back in to play together. And, it's been a work in progress for 10, 12 years now. So, it was one of those things, buying a house in Trumbull and staying in Trumbull. I couldn't picture myself not doing it and doing what I love. And to your point, being able to be on some great teams with great players and have, the memories that I had, it's, something I would love to pass down to these guys, which, I'm excited for them to take the field next week.
Well, Coach, listen, we're very happy to have you in studio. We're actually going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by some of your players. They're going to come in studio, hang out with us. We're going to ask them a couple questions, some hard-hitting questions, too. I don't know if they're ready for it, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have plenty of more here on Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network.
Want a new experience in car buying? No aggravation, no confrontation, just answers to all your questions. Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Car buying the way you want it to be. With one of the largest selections of new 2- and 4-door Jeep Wranglers available, we are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Located in Fairfield, Connecticut, we're easy to get to. Just 2.5 miles off the Merritt Parkway, exit 44 via Route 58 South. Save thousands right now at the summer clearance event. Going on now through July 31st.
You don't have to go far for authentic Neapolitan cuisine and renowned wood-fire pizza. Pizzeria Loretano of Bethel is a contemporary Italian bistro, specializing in authentic wood-fired brick oven pizza Napolitana. Pizzeria Loretano was named one of America's top 1,000 Italian restaurants in 2008 by Zagat, and recommended by Jane and Michael Stern on National Public Radio's Splendid Table. Located close to the Bethel Cinema, we focus on quality, and our food is always made to order. Join us for live jazz Sundays from 6 to 8. Find our schedule, menu, and more at pizzerialoretano.com, and like us on Facebook.
I can't believe it.
Well, Dad, you did it. You sold 160 cars. Ready to go back upstairs now?
I think it's time. I wonder how the boys are making out in their new office.
Not what I had in mind, Kyle. What, Dad?
Maybe we should retire. Right now, lease a 2017 Rogue S for only $139 a month.
Isn't it time you got Millerized?
If you've ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort, then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866. If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN Network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and we've also reached more than 2 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network. Kevin Coleman, Joe Mixie, and we're now joined by several studs from the Trumbull 14 and under Babe Ruth team. We're joined now by Jack Allen Wright, Teixeira, Ray Leonti, and Jake Gadatori. Guys, welcome to the show. Are you guys excited to be here or what?
Big time.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys come up with a big win last night. You guys win 4-0. Talk about that win last night. We'll start with Jack.
The win, it was really a conjoined team effort. You know, we all worked together. Everyone played a part in the win. Especially Sam and Ryan pitching on the mound. They did a very good job. And we were able to back them up in the field and get some runs in.
You got Ryan right there. Ryan, you were part of a two-hitter last night. Talk about your performance a little bit, man.
Yeah, so we had a great pitching performance by Sam West, and I just got the ball. I knew what I had to do to get done to get the win, and I went there, gave it my all, and got a good effort from all of us.
All right, Ray, you're out in center field, my man. What's going on out there? What are you seeing?
Well, I see the infield making a lot of plays, and since the pitching was very good, not many balls went to the outfield, which is usually good. But it's but yeah, ground balls are basically what you want, and the pitching, that's what they did. So it was great.
Speaking of ground balls, we got the shortstop right here. Jake, what did you see last night out of your pitching performance, and even from the bats as well?
Sam West and Ryan Teixeira did a great job pitching, and then our hitting, we started out a little slow, but our timely hits came in at the end, put up like 7-8 hits in the last few innings, really helped us win the game.
All right, I got a question for you. I want to start with Jake, and then we'll go this way. How about your pregame preparations? Now, you guys play a lot of games. It's hot in the summer. You're going all over the state, and you're going over to Waterford to play these games. What do you guys do when you get prepared? You drinking some Gatorade, or do you have like a song that you listen to, or what's kind of getting you in the mindset for baseball?
Well, we always just go in with our coaches, hit in the cage, warm up, and then we just do a big infield outfield to just get us ready. And then by then, we're just all locked in for the game, know what we have to do, look at the other team, just really hope for the best.
Right? Anything helps you?
Yeah, so one song we listen to is X Gon' Give It To You.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Kind of gets us pumped up for the game.
Anything specific for you, Ryan?
Well,
when you're about to take the mound?
Yeah, when I'm about to take the mound, I just think of some like soothing songs to get rid of all the pressure. It's like people say don't pregame to slow beats, but I like listening to slow beats.
What's a soothing song for you? Are we talking Beethoven, Mozart?
Careless Whisper, the
okay.
saxophone.
Wow. All right. Impressive.
So it just gets me in the right state of mind to get on the mound and give it my all.
How about you, Jack?
As Tex said, state of mind, and Grat said being locked in. It's really a mental game. So before the game, we're really trying to stay locked in, be focused, know what we're playing, just play our game and do our thing. It's really about that.
And guys, you're playing a great game of baseball. What made you guys want to play this game growing up, especially now as little kids?
Okay, I'll start. Really, when I was at a young age, my dad kind of put me into the sport. Growing up, it was more myself wanting to do it, and it was a good passing time. It was something I had fun with, but at the same time, it was something I could learn to grow better at. So it was really a good passing time as I grew up.
All right, Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, growing up, I was a multi-sport athlete. When I was younger, soccer was my number one sport of choice. But then I started watching more and more baseball and going to more games, and I just saw guys like Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter. They were putting on shows on the field. I'm like, wow, I like this. This is gonna stick for me. So baseball became the love of my life.
All right, Ray, how about you? What made you choose
when I was
baseball?
really young, my dad used to play baseball, and then when I was really young, I just wanted to be him when I grew up. So, and now I love baseball. So.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer. How about you, Jake?
Oh yeah, my dad played, and then I just remember when I was younger, watching the Yankees, playing wiffle ball, and I'm like, I'm gonna try the sport, play t-ball, and then I just really enjoyed it from then.
All right, let me ask you this. You guys finished 8th grade, all of you?
He's a sophomore, but we're all freshmen.
Oh, okay. Okay, so for the three of you, you just finished freshman year.
Oh, we
okay.
just finished 8th grade.
8th grade, so
Yeah.
you're going to be a freshman.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what is the one thing that you're looking forward to playing baseball in high school? Maybe a little bit of a divide in the play, but you're going to get a nice look at it here, playing some of the best in the state in the 14U tournament and then the regional tournament. What are you looking forward to going to Trumbull High or wherever you may be going in the area?
Well, at the high school, it's definitely taking a step up from what we've been playing. Baseball is like a pyramid. It's getting closer to the top of that pyramid. High school is really something that it evolves from what we've been doing lately. So it's definitely good to be taking a step up from what we've been doing.
All right.
Yeah, like Jack said, the pyramid, it gets skinnier at the top, so that means less players are playing, and those are the better players. and we want to stay with those people.
It's going to be different for a few of us because the way that our ages and everything, we're going to be playing freshman ball with some kids that are younger than us, but same grade. So it's like new players going to be with them for a while instead of some others. So it's going to be fun.
All right, guys, you ready for this question? Favorite subject in school? Here we go.
Man.
Jack,
All
start
right.
with you, my man.
I'm probably gonna go with science. It's fun to explore the different things that have been going on in the past, different discoveries in the past that lead up to the present, and looking forward to the future and what we could discover.
Nice.
Ryan?
I'm a big history buff.
Me
so
too.
Like,
I like that.
I like looking back at like certain events in history and like relating them back to like stuff that I like. So like, for example, like baseball. Like it's easy for me to like track back like what happened in that time period and like relate how it like things like evolved like in their everyday lives.
Yeah, I'm probably a science guy too. Just trying to discover new things, basically.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a math guy. I like all the numbers. It's pretty fun.
I like counting the things.
Yeah.
All right, guys, another quick question for you guys. Just spoke about some former Major League Baseball players. Let's quickly get your favorite players right now and your favorite baseball team. Jack, we'll start with you. Favorite team and favorite player from Major League Baseball?
All right, well, my dad was definitely brought up in a Boston family, so I'm the same.
Okay.
And my favorite player has to be Dustin Pedroia.
Okay.
Growing up, mainly it was just me and my brother that liked baseball. Unfortunately, he was a Met fan, and I was a Yankee fan. So growing up, I loved Hideki Matsui because he evolved the game. But now I'd have to say Jose Altuve because he's overcome a lot of obstacles and he's a true role model to people that they're not that tall, but he's showing how they can break down barriers and do what they love to do.
And that's a great answer. He's a small player, but he plays extremely hard.
Yeah.
All right, Ray.
Yeah, so I'm a big Yankee fan, but when my favorite player all time is Derek Jeter, just because he did everything right on and off the field. But my favorite current player would probably have to be Bryce Harper because he plays with a chip on his shoulder, even though he is better than most players in the league.
My man,
got the
good answer.
mentality,
He's my guy. Can we expect to see a beard, maybe some flow like that later on?
Yeah,
all right.
I'll try.
All right, Jake, what about you? Favorite player and favorite team?
Yankees are my favorite team, and then my favorite player has to be Derek Jeter because, shortstop, I play shortstop, really brought me up to. He was one of my main reasons to play baseball as well.
Oh, great answer. And finally, you guys are being coached by a great man over there, Mike Buswell. What's it like playing for him? Jack, we'll start with you.
Playing under Mike, it's been a pleasure, honestly. He's one of the best in the business. He does everything he's supposed to do and more. He really teaches us the things that we need to know to play the game. And then additionally, he teaches us, how to be a good team together, how to play on the field and off the field.
All right, Ryan.
When you think of Trumbull baseball, everything relates back to Mike Buswell because most the greatest players that come through this system have been coached by Mike, and it's a true honor to be underneath his wing and be one of these favorite teams to coach because we're moving so fastly and developing with our skills, and it's a true honor.
Yeah, we all developed a relationship with him that we're close to him, but if he gets on to us, if we do something wrong and he wants us to fix it, we'll make sure we fix it and do it right. So
He's a great coach. When I was younger, first coming to the program, I was a little nervous at first, and then he eased you in, and now he's really getting me ready for high school ball. I feel
Nice.
I'm really ready.
All right, guys. Well, best of luck tomorrow. I mean, we know that tomorrow you're waiting the winner between Stanford and I believe it's Waterford, correct? The game's at 5:30 tomorrow evening. So, listen, we want to wish you guys the best of luck. We'll be right behind you guys, rooting for y'all, and we're excited to see you guys next week as well. So, thanks again for coming on. What you got to say? Go Trumbull. Let's get a go Trumbull real quick.
Go
Trumbull. All right, good way to end the show. All right, guys, we're gonna step aside now. This is it. This is the end of Nutmeg Sports. Joe, this is it. Good show today.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Great
show again.
Great show again. Thanks to Paul Carcantera. Thanks to Mike Buswell and his players. Again, thanks guys so much for coming on. Tomorrow we have an action-packed show again. We'll be joined by Phil Bergen, the head coach of the Richfield Boys varsity soccer team.
Right in your territory.
Right in my territory. That's right. All right, guys, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.